Hey family, hey family. Look at me being back on another Sunday. mm, got these little petals from my Blue Lotus tea. You guys, if you can't, I don't know if you can see the flower petals in there, Blue Lotus tea. Mm-hmm. Well, I came back mm, to talk to you guys because we've been talking about the beginning of the year and letting go, all of that stuff. And we talked about grief, how you have to grieve the thing that you have let go. And I'm so sorry if you have never been on this channel before. I am Maya, the herbal alchemist. I talk about inner alchemy as well as herbs, but not so much on this channel. It just seems like it's more of a an inner alchemy thing on dealing with yourself. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I have done 2 videos now. The first video we talked about how, don't rush out to make resolutions for the new year, and do not rush out to do these vision boards until you deal with yourself. So we then talked about the season of letting go, that you need to let go of things, realize what you need to let go of, and then let those things go. But we also talking about the grieving process, grieving that which you were, grieving those things that you lost, even the people that you have lost. Even if they didn't transition out of this world, they might have just, your relationship with them might have changed, right? So we're grieving those things because in this realm, we lose a lot of things. And we never grieve them because we don't think they're big enough to grieve, because we only know grief in one plane, and that is if someone transitions out of this realm. But there are a lot of things to grieve, and we have to recognize those things we have not allowed ourselves to grieve just because we didn't know that we could, and that it was okay to grieve that. So now that you have done those 2 things, we come into the next, which is acceptance of self, acceptance of those things that you have let go, and acceptance of the grief, right? Acceptance that these things have gone, they have died, they have whatever has transitioned, it has happened. And it doesn't mean that any of those things or any of those people did not matter. It's just that you cannot bring them into the season of your life now, or they were not meant to be in this season of your life now. Sometimes we try and hold on to everyone and everything, thinking once they come into your realm, your circle, they have to stay there. That is not true. They're like leaves. They come and they go, right? Some people will hang in there for your life cycle. That's maybe 2. And if you're blessed, you got 3 people, right? The rest of them will come in and out, right? In and out. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. People think that's weird that people don't stay around forever. They're not meant to. You're either keeping them back from their blessing, or they're keeping you back from their blessing. They were just sent to you for a minute to share something, and they were supposed to move on, but you like hooked them and then you reeled them in, and now you won't let them go. They're in your little fish tank. They're in your little bubble. Let them people go, okay? And be okay with it, because they're okay with it too. I have noticed when I was younger, when you stop calling certain people, they stop calling you. Nobody has any hurt feelings. They'll still say hi to you every blue moon. That's okay. Your relationship shifted. You grew, they grew, you went in different directions, and that's okay. Now, once you've done the first 2 things, as I said, you're going to go into the acceptance realm, and you're going to accept what is, okay? And you're going to start to accept yourself, because once you start to strip away the things that never belong to you, then you are left with the core being, which is you. Now you can look at yourself and start looking at those things that really matter to you, and start to accept that it's okay that you may like certain things, or that you really want to go down this trajectory instead of this route, okay? So that's all good things, because then you start to pivot. You start to point your body in the direction you want it to go, right? So now you don't have it all together where you can write it out yet, but you visually now, once you accept these things, can kind of see where you would like to be headed, okay? Because now you're getting the feel of you and your emotions, and what you're able and capable of doing, because then you start getting in touch with those gifts that have been given to you. You are no longer burying them. You are now going to dig them up and activate them and start to use them so that they can multiply and bless you. Okay. But before that, we were so busy trying to be in everybody else's lane and doing everybody else's thing, not understanding that those things were not meant for us. It's okay for them. That's why they're prospering over there, because they understood what their lane was. They understood where they were supposed to be. So now that you start to accept yourself, your gifts, your talents, your blessings, your favor, your anointing, now you get to be where you need to be, and you will start to flourish because now you are in the lane that was assigned to you in the first place. We waste a lot of time trying to jump on somebody else's bus, and their bus is going to a different destination, and you end up there wondering what happened. How did I arrive here? Because you thought what they had looked so good, and it did, but it didn't have your name on it. You had a counterfeit ticket and you jumped on someone else's bus, and now your life looked crazy and you're wondering, why didn't it work out for me like it did for them? Because they understood their assignment. They read their ticket and said, I'm going on 345B bus, right? There was no counterfeit there. They knew who they were and they knew what they were after, and they were willing to do the work to get on that bus and go forth into their new territory. And now you're in a territory that doesn't look nor feel nor sound familiar because you were never meant to be there in the first place. So we really have to learn how to break down that which feels right in our system. Now, the old people used to say, I should have listened to my first mind. Yes, ma'am, you should have. Yes, sir, you should have listened to your first mind. Y'all know when y'all go places and you get that feeling in your gut, that's your first mind. It's going to respond first because, number one, it holds memories. So a lot of us will go and do the same thing over and over and over again. But your tummy, your gut will tell you something ain't right here. Why? Because it feels that frequency that it felt before when you were in a bad situation. When you have to make a choice, sit with your body. It will tell you, we've been here before. Something isn't right. That frequency isn't right. You've walked through this and it didn't bode well for you. So your body will start to tell you automatically. You'll start feeling butterflies, sick to your stomach. You start feeling nervous or jittery, your shoulders tense up. And you're wondering, what is going on? Why do I feel this way either about this person or this place or this new job I'm about to take or this decision? Because it is telling you, hey, we've walked down this. I've seen this. This is your intuition and your discernment kicking in, trying to tell you, hey, we need to back up. You need to go and pray about this. You need to talk to someone about this because this isn't it. You need to walk away from this. But we refuse because we are led more by our heart and our mind than our gut. And understand this, when it comes to gut health, especially when making a decision, a lot of our discernment and intuition is dying or it has died. Number one, because we don't use it. Number two, because we're putting all kinds of stuff in our bodies and it keeps it under submission, right? And so either it's trying to scream at you, but it's so weak that it can't, and so you don't feel it. So we have to make sure that we are also putting things in our body that are life, that will give you life, versus the synthetic things that are going on, especially when you're dealing with medication. That's one reason I deal in holistic health now with herbs and teas. No, they're not the end all be all. No. You can get cured if you have the right recipe of certain things. Absolutely. Yes, they can be just as dangerous as these medications out here if you do not know what you're doing. I just want to put that out there. But what I also want to say is when you deal in holistic and natural healing, your body recognizes the benefits, the different type of minerals that enter into your body because it matches your body and it matches your frequency. So they don't treat it as This is a dangerous thing, right? And the herbs that go in, they do exactly what they're supposed to do. They don't interrupt other things unless you are not doing stuff in moderation, which you should, depending on what you're taking. But you want to be mindful of that because we are putting a lot of synthetic things in our body, and our body is not recognizing that stuff. And a lot of it is getting stuck in our systems and causing clogs in our lymphatic system. And then we have some issues there, right? And so it's round and round and round. And all of the medications that are made are based off herbs or a plant, right? They didn't just come up with this willy-nilly unless it's a pure synthetic, which is really scary, because who knows what that's going to do to your body in a long run, because a lot of people take these medications and they never get off of them. That should be red flag number one. You're taking these for 10, 20 years, and all you're doing is masking the real symptoms. And you don't even know if what they're treating is, if that's really the area of problem, or you're just feeling it here, but the real problem is somewhere else in your body. You'll never know, and they're never going to dig, right? They're going to send you on your way. So we have to be mindful of that as well when we deal with our intuition and discernment and our gifts. Okay, so make sure you treat your body well. Make sure you put stuff in it where your body can break it down, where it recognizes that it has the same code and frequency as you. So once you start to deal with yourself and start to accept where you are and who you truly are, and understand that it's okay to be you, like the things you do, you might just have to find another tribe if they find that weird or question you or think, oh, you think you're better, or why are you can't call me no more. No, I don't want these type of conversations no more. I'm tired of that. Or I'm starting to dive into some other things and I know that's not your lane, and that's fine. And right there, a separation could be had, right? Of I need to be who I am. And understand this. Whoever you end up being, there's people out there just like you. You're going to find your tribe, because once you find your own frequency, it will start to call other people who will align with you, who think what you do and you yourself are great. So don't feel like you will be alone. You won't be alone unless you choose to. Me, I don't like a lot of people. I don't like a lot of people around me. I'm not one of those with 15 billion friends or whatever. And the friends I do have, I barely call on the phone. Like, I see people, but and here, now that I've moved here, I have met a group of ladies that are phenomenal. And so we get together every once in a while, but I love them because they have their own lives to live too, and they get busy, and nobody gets upset if you don't pick up the phone and call them every day. Nobody feels a certain type of way, right? We all know that if you call me, I'm picking up the phone, and what do you need? That's what a friend is. So you will have to classify what you believe a friend is once like your circle changes, if it happens to you, right? Because you don't want to be someone who is always pouring out to others and they're not pouring into you, by the way of understanding and wisdom and letting you be that which you are. And understanding that some people will get upset that you have decided to grow because they have not figured out how to grow yet. Or maybe they're having some other issues in the back end that they can't let go of, or they believe that they can't let go of. And so they want you, that crab in the barrel mentality, stay here with me. You can't leave me. So be wary of that, but keep going, keep moving forward. The world is not going to stop. It's not going to end. You're going to be just fine. You're going to be just fine in your new walk for 2026. Excuse me, y'all. Oh, good gracious. Your new walk for 2026. Now, my next video is going to be about pivoting, because like I said, once you accept and you sit down and you really meditate and think about that, which you want to become, what you want to see yourself doing, and knowing that it's okay to do those things, and it starts to make you feel good. And then you start to feel the power, like, yeah, I can change my environment, my atmosphere, what I do for 2026. Um, so I can start to think about how to get there. And so next Sunday, I'll come on and I'll talk about pivoting. How do you actually point your life in the direction that you want to go? And these two I put together, they're separate, but they're really together. Okay. Once you accept, you do start to pivot. You start to rotate that which was into what will become. And that is what we want. And we want all of these steps to be done before spring, because when spring comes, that is the arrival. That is the growth. That is, everything is ready to go and live. So we're like at stages, when you're at the track meeting, you're waiting for the gun to go off. We are waiting for the gun to go off. We're at 1, 2, you know what I mean? And so we're getting in position. So when the spring comes and that gun shoots off, we are there. We are focused. And I know you're saying, well, that's not a lot of time because December is right around the corner, by the spring, and I have all these months. But understand that it is a process, and we're not looking at it like a full, like, Gregorian year, right? Because we know that's all false. We're just looking at it as a block of time that is in accordance with nature herself. So we are following the natural flow of things. We are not forcing, we are not pushing, we are not pulling, we are not submerging. We are going with the flow, but understanding that we are controlling how we maneuver in that thing. So we're not going to just let the river take us anywhere. We understand that we are in this natural flow, but we do have we have paddles, right? We do have ways to control how we go, how fast we go. If we need to pull over, stop and pause, think about our direction, all of those type of things. So don't feel like you're on man's time. Time is an illusion. We are going with that which we can see, which is nature, and following nature's flow to things. And then you will find that things come much easier. Now, I do want to say this. If there are any of you that have been out here living in turmoil, I mean, your life was just out here, straight destruction. Understand that when you are dealing with yourself, when you are letting go, when you are grieving, when you accept, there is going to be karma to be paid, and there's no way around this debt. So if you're saying, I'm doing all these things and now my life looks like hell, I gotta do this and this is happening or whatever, write it out. Because a lot of y'all are going to have to pay for some things that you did knowingly or unknowingly before you can push forward into your new growth, into your new territory. There are debts that need to be paid, and karma will come see you. I know. So a lot of people will get scared off because they're like, man, things were much better before I tried to change my trajectory and all of this. Now I'm going through this and I'm going through that. Understand, you have to, because you do have to pay your debts. So if you ever want to change your life and you have put in a lot of dirt in other people's spaces, if you have trespassed on a lot of people, you are going to have to pay that debt. So the debt is going to come hard because you want to get through it, right? So it's going to come like back to back to back. But once it's done and you've paid it, all of your blessings will come right behind it. It will sweep in. Right? And even in paying your debt, you will have some blessings because it does recognize that you are trying to change things. But unfortunately, you can't change the laws of nature. And that's just, you're going to have to pay that back, baby. Okay? You're going to have to pay that back. But do not get discouraged. I have had to pay quite a bit back. But I'm here now. So, it is frustrating, but that's just the way it is. You don't get away with anything. Everything is revealed, right? What's done in the dark will come into the light. The same principles, all of the same principles are dealing even when you are changing your life for the better. Unfortunately, that's just how the cookie crumbles. That's how the game is played, okay? So I want you guys, if you have not started writing down what you're going to let go for this year, if you have not already grieved, it's time to grieve those things that you have let go, right? And then it's time to accept the new parts of you, the parts that have been left behind, that you have ignored, but you have noticed that this is at the core who you are. And then once you do the acceptance, we're going to talk about pivoting in the right direction. So once we turn our lives in the right direction, now we're getting closer to, if you want to make those resolutions. Now we're getting closer to putting that stuff on the vision board, right? Once we start to pivot. But we're going to talk about pivoting because there's some rules to pivoting, okay? It's a lot of rules to pivoting, right? But like I said, pivoting and acceptance are in the same realm. And so I do hope that this video helps you a lot, because the things I tell you are not things I overheard by someone else. It's things that I had to walk out to get my life back on track, to make sure that I stayed in this realm and not to leave it at my own hands, to understand what you put in, you get out double time. So this isn't something that I just talk about. This is something that I know. And I hope that you come back next Sunday. Look, you guys, even though I know it's like rooted, the title is, by YouTube is Rooted Vines, and it's very rare that I talk about herbs and stuff because I'm so into on this channel getting you and your life right. Because I want you to live an abundant life. I want you to know that you are redeemed and anointed and blessed and highly favored, that your cup overflows and your barns are full. So, that's what I want to make sure that you understand. I do have a community that I do talk about herbs, right? I got a little self-reflection guides and stuff in there, but I do talk about herbs. And so I started a Skool community. And I will put a link below, but I started a Skool community, and we are going to start doing herbal blends and learning about different herbs. It is at its most basic bottom basic level. So you ain't got to know nothing. You ain't got to feel like you got to come in with no knowledge. There's no crazy questions. We are just there to support each other, teach each other, and learn. Right now, Skool is free. I am going to do a membership where I will ship out boxes where you would have the teas that we're blending for that month. And then we'll do a live tea blending class. But, I do like self-help journals. I do some guides where I talk about where you can download about the herbs and keep those. So I'm trying to expand my territory. It's a lot. Again, it's a lot. I just had to do a whole Japanese quiz this morning, stressed out because I had a lot of other stuff to do. And that was a 2-hour quiz, y'all. Yeah. School is getting me. I'm trying to get all my fun classes, easy classes out the way before I hit my psychology classes really hard. So, but yeah, pray for your girl. I wanted to say hi to Healthy Wizard, and I'm going to try and catch a video of yours today. Ellen Smile, yes, Nedia, yes, all my people out there, I miss y'all. I gotta get back in, but I am getting in. I'm doing it. So, but you guys stay blessed this week, okay? And if I come up with anything else between the week, because I do want to do more videos, I don't know if that'll happen. I'll probably do more shorts than videos, but I will be back here next Sunday at 6. So yeah, I can't wait to see you. You see, I'm matching my aesthetics today. And I got this little plate. She's not real. Now, she ain't real. But I thought she was cute in here. Give you a little smile. All right, y'all. Y'all have a beautiful Sunday. I will check you later. As always, make sure you stay rooted, stay true, and stay you, whoever that may be. Bye.